I never use this one only for. Okay. Don't panic about the camera. This is for me, only me. I watch it with Miss Eden as part of my new teacher training. So, anyway, like I was talking about, our decision-making stuff is a really big part of health, and they really stress it. Especially most people that take health, they're freshmen. So they're just coming into high school, brand new, whole new thing, and everything changes from middle school to high school. You know that. So that's why it's such a big portion of this module in health, okay? You have already done your refusal skill stuff in your role play. So we're not going to do role play today, but what we are going to do is we're going to discuss a type of role play. So it'll be a verbal discussion as to what you would do rather than the actual role play itself, okay? This is kind of your cheat sheet. You may take notes on this during the slides if you want. It will aid you greatly in your actual assessment, which, if you remember, what did I say your assessment was going to be? Is it a big written test, lots of questions?
The storyboard that.
Your storyboard that, exactly. So the stuff I want to see in that storyboard that will be on the rubric, and I'll give that to you. If you're feisty and for some reason you can't hold on to your papers, all this stuff is in the health folder, the Google Classroom. So
Mr. Rayson,
you can go on there and look at it. Yeah.
what's the storyboard?
We will discuss. All right. Have no fear. Top 10 refusal skills for teens. You may face many situations where others are encouraging you to do something risky, illegal, or unhealthy. How can you develop the ability to stand up for yourself?
It's like I am.
Unfortunately, many teens wind up going along, not because they want to, but simply because they don't know how to respond to situations. Okay? I'll let you read the rest of that paragraph as you want to, but we are going to go through really quick and just read our refusal skills, because a lot of these are going to be in the slideshow, and we can discuss them at the end. All right? So, Jose, number 1. That's yours, buddy. I've seen it. You get frustrated, or you have to do something that you don't know, or you make a joke, and I've seen you do it, and you do it well. Who's got 2? Isabel, you got number 2? Awesome. Kimberly?
Make an excuse why you can't.
Awesome. Savannah?
Just say no, plain and simple.
Just so you know, plain and simple. Camille?
Suggest an alternative activity.
Excellent. Jose? Number 6?
Ignore the subject.
Ignore the suggestion. Awesome. How about it, Isabel?
Repeat yourself.
Awesome. If necessary, say it again. Kim?
Leave the situation.
New situation. Savannah?
Nice and nice.
And Camille.
The power of numbers.
Power of numbers. That one is a little trickier, but we will talk about that in the slideshow, so that'll come up, okay? Now, when we're watching the slides, read them, we'll talk through them a little bit. Take notes on this if you want to. Again, this is yours. This is your stuff. And again, I know we haven't used it much recently, but the green folder has all your work, it has everything that I've created and whatnot. It's a good spot for this, because that green folder is going to be going home with you. When?
Wait, what?
When do you think that green folder is going to go home?
At the end of the semester.
At the end of the semester. My goodness, you're on it today, Camille. All right,
Hi, me.
refusal skills and the right to say no. Very important. The main stress in this is the right to say no, okay? So keep that in mind as we go through. Is that a refusal skill? Yes, it is, but it's also kind of the overarching idea of everything behind refusal skills, okay? So, what are refusal skills? We talked about them, what are they?
Your skills that you use to get away with this.
Ways to say no.
Right, ways to say no. Anything else? Is that good? Why do we need to learn refusal skills?
To defend ourselves.
Defend yourselves. What else?
Get out of situations.
Get out of situations. That's a good one. Anything else? It's okay. There's no right or wrongs, guys. These are just these are brain break questions that get us going for the slides here. We're going to address them. Refusal skills are ways to say no to risky behaviors. Remember, we went over yesterday, what? Good and bad decisions. So, if you don't have the ability to say no, what may you end up doing?
I'm not having that decision.
Making a bad decision. Yeah, we don't really like those bad decisions.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about our burritos.
And the Twinkies.
Okay, and no Twinkies. So, refusal skills. And some of these may be a little bit different than what you had defined in your reducing the risk class, but essentially,
What?
refusal skills are refusal skills. They help you, students, and parents and teachers, everybody, to resist peer pressure and to maintain their self-respect at the same time. Refusal skills can be used in different situations such as crime involvement, drug and alcohol use, sexual activity, and violence. Which ironically, almost that was what your PSAs were all about. Refusal skills can be used in peer pressure situations. What's a peer pressure situation?
Someone pressuring.
I knew you were gonna answer. What?
Okay. Someone pressuring you to do something, like your friends or something that you don't want to do.
Okay.
Like,
Doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing.
yeah, they can pressure you. They can be like, you need to do your homework, or they can be like, you're trying to skip, like
So, it's just garbage. So is all peer pressure bad?
No, it can be good or bad, and it can come from anyone.
Anyone that's your what? Anyone that's your...
Friend, your sibling,
Like Kyle, like he wanted
your
jump on
Peer.
peer,
What's this working?
your peer,
And
friend,
that's around you.
People around you.
People around you. What's similar, like, I don't mean to pick on Mr. Blake, but we're peers, but we are not your peers.
Oh,
or my friend.
I thought you were
So
my
how would, no, peers don't only mean friends.
Yeah.
acquaintance.
People in your age group.
Yeah.
When we say peer pressure, that's usually referring to individuals who are associated with you by age or grade, usually. Doesn't always happen that way. A lot of you guys have friends that are older, a lot of friends that are younger, but usually it's coming from the same people. Adolescents are very sensitive to peer pressure. You guys, your age group, adolescents. Teens do not want peers to make fun of or ridicule them. What's ridicule mean?
Call them out. Like
Call them
being
out. What else?
scared.
You're funny looking.
Hey!
What is that? What is that?
Bullying.
Bullying? What else?
He's not wrong.
What else?
Picking on
My-
you.
Picking on you, making fun of you, ridiculing you.
To get Botox.
Sometimes, hey, you know what? Sometimes ridiculing isn't necessarily meant to be malicious or bad. Like, I pick on you guys all the time.
Yeah.
But we do it
Just like your forehead's
gesturingly, jokingly. Don't make fun of my forehead.
forehead's farther than my future.
Oh, I see how it. All right. So, again, refusal skills help you good and bad, especially in peer pressure, because peer pressure is good and bad. So always keep that in mind. It's not always necessarily a bad thing. Most of the time, though, you're gonna hear from people if it's a bad decision and you're chickening out or you're a weenie. Oh, you're not gonna do that. Think of Kyle with the rocks yesterday. Right?
Yeah, but there is good peer pressure.
Well, sure there is. However, peer pressure can be difficult for some students to resist. Why?
Because they want to fit in.
They want
I mean,
to have
there
friends.
is no other
They want to
answer.
be popular.
There is no other answer. They want to fit in.
Like,
When you say no to peer pressure, you become that person. Oh, I don't want to do that guy. I want to hang with him.
yeah, and then you'll be
He's lame. He doesn't do anything cool.
Friendless,
Pretty
then
lame.
you can't go to lunch with anyone. If you don't go to lunch with anyone, then you don't want to go to school.
So-
I don't want to marry, okay.
Why? And here's what we're talking about. Students want to be liked and don't want to lose their friends. Maybe afraid of rejection by peers. So again, peers are buddies. They're not gonna like me if I don't go to the movies. They're not gonna like me if I don't drink that beer. Well, you know what? Do not want to hurt other feelings. Just because you're drinking that beer doesn't make you a bad person. You're not following the rules. Maybe you're getting peer pressure too. You know, so it's a fine line.
Yeah,
Do
'cause
not.
like,
What's that?
I was just gonna say, yeah, because like if your friends are pressuring you to drink, then and that's all they do, and like you finally like you keep saying no, because because if you say no, then you'll realize like, because like if someone's pressuring me to drink and I'm like no, and then they won't invite me to hang out with them because all they do is drink because they know I don't want to drink, and then they won't hang out with me anymore, and then I don't have any friends.
But
If I don't have any friends, then I won't come back from school.
But
and
the
then-
flip side of that is always gonna be, are they really your friends if they're trying to pressure you all the time to do something you
If
don't
they
want?
pressure you, they're
I know,
not
he's
friends.
I will never have any friends, I'll never get
If I
sent
tend
lunch,
to
I'm like,
go
you
down,
never come to lunch
I
with me.
will
Sometimes
fail
taking
my-
friends is work, unfortunately. That's what you guys don't seem to understand. Friendship isn't just something you get.
You know, I'd rather lose a friendship than try
Or she
to
could
So-
try.
be alcoholic.
Yeah.
You know, oh, and this is probably the biggest one for most of you. Do not know how to leave certain situations. You just don't have the skills. You
It's like
just
that-
don't know what, I don't know what to say, so I'm just gonna do it.
It's like that video we watched yesterday about that guy that was in a gang.
Exactly.
He didn't know what to do, but
He
he
was
finally
stuck.
left.
Yeah, he was stuck. And they're not sure of what they really want. Maybe you really want to have that beer. I mean, I don't know. You know, it happens, guys. I mean,
I
you
want that
know,
beer can drink.
bad decisions are bad decisions, but they happen all the time. Sometimes you have to make those bad decisions.
I'm just gonna crack a cold one.
Obviously, we don't condone it. We don't want you to do it, but
You do it, you do it.
you do it, you do it. I mean, it happens.
That's
Pay the
really
price,
you
man.
all night.
All right. So here we go. Saying no can sometimes be hard. However, it gets easier with practice. If you know you are going to be someplace where you might be in a difficult position to say yes, plan ahead.
Say yes.
I know you're thinking, this is silly. Well, I'll tell you what, if you're familiar in your brain with how you're gonna react, when time comes for you to react, it's much easier. Practice refusal skills. Prepare a reliable, honest response. Stay firm with your response. Don't waver. If you say no, say no. You know, that's the hardest part. However, there are things you can do. Refuse.
I'll bark.
Jose, no way am I gonna go and smoke a joint with you.
Whoa.
No way.
Little chicken.
You know, you gotta pick and choose,
Alright, I'm
guys.
down.
Nah, you know, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like it.
Alright, bro.
Make an excuse, I'll barf. I have to get up in the morning.
I got
That sounds silly, guys. I gotta work later. What else?
It's a good excuse for me.
This is the easiest one. What's the easiest thing to do? We're gonna get on the next slide.
Bathroom.
Oh, I gotta go to the bathroom. You get up and you just do it.
Yeet.
Go on.
And you
Adios.
Everybody's gotta go to the bathroom. Oh, I gotta go pee. Okay, so guess and then you got. You don't even
I
know.
want to use my bathroom in my house.
I
That's
gotta go
why
to the
I
bathroom.
Recruit a friend. You know what's cool? I don't know. You guys ever like go out with people or do things and you have that guy or the girl on the other end say, "Hey, call me in 20 minutes and I'll let you know what's going
I
on."
always do that. I
And
always
if
tell
it's
my
if it's
sisters
good, then it's
always
cool.
have to go.
But if it's bad, I'll just make up. You're calling me, so I gotta go.
Yeah.
How easy is that?
My sisters, whenever they're hanging out with someone, they'll text me, be like, call me in 20 minutes and say I have to be home. And I'll be like, what are you doing?
You know
You're
what?
about to come home. They're like, oh, I'll be right home. And then they'll come home. I'll be
It
like,
sounds goofy, but
It works.
it works.
Yeah.
It works. And nobody even thinks nonetheless of you.
'Cause they're not
Remember,
asking.
we don't want to say no because we don't want our friends to not like us, right? Well, you're not saying no. You just, oh crap, I totally forgot. I gotta go. Done.
Bingo.
Like,
Okay? My personal favorite, and the one that usually works the most,
blame your parents.
blame your parents.
Did you think it?
I would
A mile away.
take the blame for you for anything.
And
Okay? If you're using that for a reason, that's awesome. These two are probably the hardest. Come up with a better idea. You got a bunch of buddies that are sitting around, drinking beer, doing whatever, and you say, hey guys, let's play Nintendo instead. I mean, to get them to actually do that, you know, it's tough. It's hard. Well, whatever it is, it's hard. It's
I like
hard.
to go eat. Everyone wants to.
Yeah, I mean,
let's go get
if
some
you can
grub.
get them to do something else, you're actually helping them. I mean, that's probably the best thing to do, if you can get them to do it. But it's hard, you have to be persuasive. It's not always easy, especially if your friends are doing something like, I hope they're not, but drinking or drugs, because they're gonna be impaired, so making them, it's difficult, guys. The last one is just leave.
See you.
And the reason why it is so hard is because it's the hardest thing to explain to people later. Hey, why'd you leave? Guys are too crazy for me, I'll see you later. Oh, we're too crazy for you? You don't want to hang out with us? Well, you know what? Hey, yeah, exactly.
Guys are crazy, man. See you later.
It is.
Crazy.
Crazy.
Absolutely crazy.
It's tough. It's tough.
Don't make fun of Jose, jeez. I'm not.
Hey, man, my jokes are pretty dope.
I'm telling you,
Seriously.
I thought you
joking,
crazy.
joking is probably the fastest and easiest way to get out of a situation. Excuse me. If you're good at it. If your jokes are terrible,
Say no.
you might not get it.
He ain't getting out.
So,
Can't you snap your fingers at me?
No.
Yes. Okay.
thanks, but I don't want to put anything in my body. You know what? This actually works.
You can say I
People
want
respect
scholarships.
this. Another thing,
I can't even say scholarship.
I'm allergic. Goes along with this one.
I'm
I'm allergic to crack.
broccoli.
Sorry, I can't drink beer or something in it, makes me sick. I'm allergic to it, I can't do it. Okay.
I like this
That
last
good
one.
marijuana.
Since I don't need a drink.
I'm allergic to
Slash
meth, I'm
juice.
sorry.
You're like
Yeah.
my own meth and
How about
like,
this
I'm
one?
allergic.
I'm allergic.
Kids,
How about this one?
listen up.
I don't need to drink / do drugs for fun.
Let's go have a party.
Yeah,
Do you have any?
You
Don't
can.
play Just Dance a little
Some people
bit.
make like an excuse. Like I've heard some people be like, oh yeah, I need a scholarship, so if I smoke, like it could. Or you could
Right.
say they drug test, like so a lot of people, because we were talking about this.
Dolls
They
are
could be
not
like,
drug
oh my
tested.
parents drug test, or like,
Yeah.
oh my work drug. Because there is
Again,
some
who are you
jobs.
blaming? Work, parents?
Yeah, there is some
See?
jobs that do drug test you.
There's a word for that. It starts with a D. And I don't know if, I haven't talked to you about it, but I don't think they have either. It starts with a D. See that? Does anybody know what it is?
What's the next word?
Defensive,
Deflection.
deflection. I
When
know,
you're
I guess
deflecting
it is.
something, what are you doing?
You are really struggling.
You're running it.
It bounces
If
off.
you're deflecting something, it's what?
Bouncing
It's
off.
bouncing off. So it's not you it's sticking to, it's somebody else, right?
Saying no.
Yeah,
Deflect.
and it's not like they're gonna go to your work and ask them, do you drug test? Like,
I would hope they wouldn't. You know what? If a friend of mine did something like that,
I'd punch you in the face.
oh, they wouldn't.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be
You're
friends.
I would be so embarrassed. Like, why would you
This one,
ask
guys, like I said, just say no.
No.
Just said no, man.
Just say no.
Don't be afraid.
That works with everything. Guys, violence,
What was the else you?
sex, drugs, alcohol, illegal activity.
Why are you staring at me?
Just say no. Just say no.
It's like, you do this, you're out of the house.
So you're gonna go home and your dad's gonna have this set up in the kitchen.
All right,
You're
refocus.
like, what are you doing?
Calm down,
It's
kids.
gonna be all pipeline it.
Okay.
Find another person who does not want to be involved in those behaviors. That's our definition of strength in numbers, which is the last one that you read on our cheat sheet. Be around people that do what you do.
Wanna go
That's not
party?
mind-bending, is it? I mean, it's really not. There you go, Camille, this one goes to you too. Choose friends who do not pressure you.
Why does this go to me?
Because you said it earlier.
Yeah,
You actually said it
Oh.
earlier. Talk to your friends about their behaviors and their concerns. It does work. They might be kind of ticked off at you. It's hard to go to your friend and say, you know what, Isabel, you really need to slow down on the beers.
Hey, man.
You know, it's tough. It's not easy. It's not easy. You look like the bad guy.
Like a leg man.
But, well, yeah, you know what though?
You just gotta do
Think
it.
of the long run. What happened with that little girl her freshman year in college that decided, oh, I'm going to just jump in the car and drive home?
She got manslaughter.
That was
They
bad.
killed them.
Maybe the next time Isabel decided to have a beer, she would go, oh, you know what? Mr. Baker said I need to slow down. And she doesn't. You know what I mean?
Good
Just
job,
using her-
Isabel. We are so
Isabel
proud
doesn't
of you.
drink beers.
Isabel talks too much.
Gosh, Isabel. Come on.
All right,
Don't pick on Isabel. She's
right
nice.
to say no.
Oh, you're wrong.
You are the one who needs to decide what makes you feel happy and comfortable in doing. You deserve to be liked and respected for more than your willingness to participate in any behaviors you do not want to do. You have the right to say no at any time. I don't care if it's been your best friend for 15 years, that you crawled together, you're my homie all the way, right? Well, you know what, if you're homie all the way, you're saying, oh, well, you're not my friend unless you drink this beer. Well, you know what, I would have a hard time with that person being my friend. I'm just saying, you have the right to say no. Whatever you do, speak firmly. No, I really don't want to do that, no. If you don't make your mind, if you don't let them know what you have decided, are they gonna stop? Be firm, okay? And best of all, like I said, encourage others to choose helpful and responsible behaviors,
Pictures.
okay?
Church
I was like, the fire.
Last slide, and I'll tell you this every time,
It's the answer for any type of questions.
Adios.
goodbye. It's also the hardest.
And sometimes.
Just leave.
Well, that's all.
Even, I'll tell you what, as a parent, fortunately I haven't had issues with Savannah. My parents had issues with me. Going to a party, there's drugs or alcohol, maybe you partake, you have a hard decision to make, but you choose what you think is best, and you do maybe have something to drink, or something else. I guarantee you, the trouble that you would get in is far less if you were to then decide this is not cool and you were to call home. Believe me, as much as you think your parents are going to kill you, they are going to be way more happy to know that you're alive and you've decided to make a better decision. I'm just telling you as a parent and as a teacher, okay? The hardest phone call to get is that something happened to your kid. Okay? Remember that. No matter how much you think your parents hate you, no matter how bad, you think you're gonna get in trouble, whatever it is, the flip side is, if you decide at any point, remember, you have the right to say no anytime. So even if you've already made a bad decision, or you're realizing it's a bad decision, and you want to end it, doesn't mean you can't. Okay?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, your assignment.
Oh, did we get a role playing in?
Well, your inner role play.
Oh, I like
Jose's
that.
favorite part.
I like the role play, man. It's fun.
I'm gonna start over here. And Jose, ladies are always first, right?
Yeah. Go ahead, lady.
Jose is a
So-
lady. What do you mean?
Isabel,
I have
you two.
can't do that.
We have 6, and there's 5 of you. So the nice thing is there'll be an extra one, which is
Ooh,
cool.
I'll take
Jose's
the
like, I
extra.
take,
Like-
'cause
I take it.
Okay.
Just pick a number.
4. Don't open it yet. 6. Don't open it
Bruh,
yet.
I finished you 6.
Pick another.
I'm so sorry.
2. I like even numbers.
I do too, so I picked
2.
6.
Surprise me.
1.
Can I take both?
One.
I'll take 5 then.
5. Open them up.
I'm always number 2.
Yeah, you.
Zero.
Okay. On your paper, and then I'll do this one.
Okay.
Oh, what do we have here? Don't read yet. I'm reading first.
No, I'm number 1.
Here it is, peer pressure. Scenario number 2. You are asked by a group of your friends to have a cigarette with them. You don't smoke. They have told you that nobody will find out. Okay. So, on your paper, so, oh my gosh, you need paper. Oh, I get it up. Or you can write on the back of your sheet here. I would like you to brainstorm. I'm only gonna give you like 5 minutes to do this, okay? I'm gonna limit your time. Because in a scenario, when you're reading your scenario, that's easy. When you're in a real scenario and it's happening, you're not gonna, oh, wait, give me 5 minutes to write this answer down and then I'll get back to you.
Give me
Doesn't work
5
that
minutes to
way.
think of my reason.
You have 5 minutes.
5 minutes to.
Here's what I want, listen. Here's what I want. I want 2 things. 1, your refusal skill, your escape. What are you gonna do? That's your first one. Secondly, and this is the most important part, I want you to tell me why it'll work for you.
So we're doing ours or the one that you like?
This is your thing. So, mine, have a cigarette, I would say, you know what, man, you know, I'm on the varsity football team, and I cannot afford to smoke. It hurts my lungs.
Teachers, students, sorry for the interruption. We need all students that are going to be taking picture retake to come down the gym now with their packets. And any student that wasn't here on picture day needs to come down and take a picture. Thank you.
Anybody?
I wanna go and read, are we allowed to read yours and then, just, I don't know, I'm gonna
You
go
have to
ask.
have your,
I'm gonna go ask, what's her name over there? She
I'll
said.
tell you what, do this first,
Okay.
and I'll let you go. Okay? Man, my coach would kill me if he saw me slowing down, and heaven forbid, you like smell cigarette smoke on me. You know, you say no one will ever find out, but I hear, you know. Why that would work for me? Because people relate, they can say athletics, smoking, no good. So it's very easy for me. All right? So you come up with your refusal skill, write it down, and give me the reason why it'll work for you.
Okay. I'm just gonna go ask her really quick. Wait, am I
Are you-
supposed to write what they want with their same background? I just writing.
No, your response,
Oh, yeah.
why you're responsible for. West and West. Doesn't have to be a novel, just give me an idea why it'll work.
It's in my pocket. Oh, here you go. Didn't have this. Mr. Baker. Dragonis, that's next. Yeah, free sauce. Actually, we're going to West.
Okay.
And I think I use that.
Are you done with your
Yeah.
papers, please?
Get it, Baker.
Are you struggling?
Good? Yeah. All right.
Put that stupid flower crown on. Where'd it go?
Right there.
It's unheavy.
Oh, it is? Oh, okay, good. Now my ponytail's a messed up.
Some of these were harder than others, you may have gotten easy. That's why I didn't let you pick.
Wait, we're supposed to do about our scenario or the one you read?
Your scenario. Did you do my scenario?
Yeah,
No, you do your scenario.
I think it's. I did yours.
Yeah, what good? I just gave you mine. That's a good one, though.
You gotta read it again. That's fine.
No, you know what, man? Why not?
It works though.
Ooh, I don't know, you might want to do that one.
Okay.
That one pertains to a lot of people at our school. You girls done? If you want to, you can. You can stick with that one you have there, Jose. I like yours too. If you'd rather do that one.
I'll do both.
All right, cool. Get it done. While we're waiting, does anybody have any questions? Do you guys have questions about this? You understand you can use this for more than just drinking beer, right? This is a life skill. I know when we're using the rest they're talking about, obviously. Saying no to like sex, really, is what it boils down to. But it's so far than just saying no to sex. What's up? All done? Yeah, we're in the middle of our deal here, so hang out with Tammy. Just tell her that you're here. You're back. Okay. All right, so let's come back. So here's what we'll do. Dr. Seuss said it best. Be who you are and say what you feel. Because those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. It's pretty genius if you think about it. So, with that in mind, grab your little packet I just gave you there. They're all the same. Camille, stalling just for another second. She's the next person. I'm gonna force your comfortability level a little bit. I'm gonna make you not only read your scenario, obviously it'd be a lot easier to understand what your refusal skill is if we know what your scenario is, but you're going to rate everyone else's. Remember what I said yesterday? It's super important to understand what other people are thinking about your refusal ability, right? If you can't refuse very well.
Teachers, students, sorry for the interruption. This is the last call for pictures, so if you need them done, please come down to the gym now.
You're in a safe environment here with us. You are not in a place that will judge you. This is a judgment-free zone. That's why if you honestly don't think what that person said would work, tell them. I know enough about you guys that I know that what you wrote down is not just garbage. I trust and I know that what you wrote down as a refusal skill will be something you can do. So if people around you, your peers, right? If they don't think it's going to work, wouldn't you want to know that? I mean, seriously. That's the whole point, right? Validity. Is it valid? Will it work? Okay? So, as soon as I'm sorry about this, guys. I know she was really concerned about getting her picture, so.
No, in the middle, Kimberly.
All right, so I'll start. You don't have one for me. You can just tell me whether you actually think, if we were with a group of people and buddy's like, hey, have a cigarette, no one's gonna find out. And I were to say something like, oh, man, my coach will know, or oh, I'm playing football and it really hurt my lungs. Do you think something like that would work? I think it's valid.
Depending on the person.
I think it's valid. I think it would work for me because my buddies that I'd hang out with, number one, they wouldn't be smoking. So it's not something I have to face. But two, if they were, it would be immediate. Oh yeah. Because to be honest with you, it's probably what they would say. Well, I want to give Camille a chance to hear yours. She's just getting her thing done. Oh, you know what? Hey, why don't you do mine? Here, Jose misunderstood and he wrote down. Don't. This one isn't Jose, so don't rate him on this one. Don't rate him on this one. We can give him some feedback. This is the cigarette one. Let's see mine as well. Go ahead, Jose. What do you think?
I said, nah, I'm okay. I said, I don't want to smell funny. Or if I want to approach a girl, I don't want her to tell me that she's better stink, bro.
Did you just say
bro? with your bros, man. I mean, if a guy walked up to one of you and like, hey, let's go Netflix and whatever, I'll stink you like smoke.
You guys think you like a guy smoking cigarettes?
Would that work? Do you think?
Yeah.
What else did you have?
kinda,
Because you wrote.
I think I do the same thing. It's like, what?
I don't
Oh,
want
that's just your answer.
I didn't want to smell that, nor my parents
Yeah.
also kill me.
Oh,
if I had to.
Yeah, so your packet there, Camille, there's one, do Jose, Savannah, Kim, and Isabel.
You can just do sad.
Okay, on your thing.
That's just sad.
They're gonna do the same for you. So when we're done, you're gonna have a packet, you're gonna have a whole stack of stuff. Okay? And again, like I was telling them, Camille, it's not personal. No one's judging you, but they're gonna be honest with you. And if they think that your refusal skill is kinda lame, or it's not gonna work, or whatever, they're gonna tell you that,
I'll
okay?
judge you 'cause we're friends.
Does that make sense?
Wait, what are we doing?
He just
Say it again for Camille.
Everyone here is gonna read their,
So what am I writing on the top?
well,
Your name?
So
My name?
Jose's, if Jose was first, you put Jose in there. Your name goes on the bottom in the reviewer, okay?
Who do I write on the top?
Whoever goes. You'll have one for each person. There's, you all have four, there's one for each person. So, make sure you put, and let them know it's you. Be brave. It's okay. Again, this is not a just judgment-free zone.
Okay, Kimberly, Jose.
I feel like I spelled your name
I
Is
wrong.
it
spelled Jose wrong.
I'm just gonna put Kim.
Josie.
J-E, or J-O-S-E.
I had it right,
Hey,
but
bro.
I know you're Kim, so.
Jos.
Jose?
Josie.
I'm just saying, spell it.
That's Isabel is
How do you spell yours?
I-S-A-L-L-A. Oh my gosh.
I-S-L-B-E-L-L-E.
Wait, say it again.
Oh.
I spelled it wrong? No, I did not.
Wow. Just
I'll
say it out
spell it
loud, I
right.
wanna know.
I'll spell it right, but
I-S-A.
B-E-L-L-E. That's all I said?
B-
I'm just mumbling.
E-L-L-E. Okay,
Is
and
it
then.
I,
Oh, you're not
Say
gonna
how do I
L-L?
spell your name?
S-A-V-A.
Isabel? Is it
Oh,
I-S-A-B-E-L-L?
S-A-V, sorry.
Man.
Boom.
No, give me your full name.
You want,
E.
you know
It's
who
an
it
E.
is? I
Yeah.
know.
Okay,
And then
who wants to go first? Jose, you already went first, so I'll go first again.
S-A-V-A-N-N.
Mine doesn't count. I didn't read your other one, so.
C-A-M-I-L-E, right?
Savannah, why don't you go first? I'll pick on you.
Why?
So find Savannah's paper. All right, Savannah, read your scenario really quick, if you would, or if you want me to read it, if you need help, whatever.
You are playing with a group of your friends at the local park. Your parents know you are there and expect you to go home at 7 p.m. It is nearly 7 p.m. Some older people come along. They're friends of one of your friends that are seniors at the high school. They ask you to go to their house to play the latest video game. You know your parents to be expecting you home. That's what I said. So I was kind of thinking, like it's like my house because I have a park like on the back of my house and I was thinking like that. And so I was like, so my parents would like me home at 7, so I'll just start heading home now. And I know this would work for me because I know my strengths, and if they really want to mess with me, I could just scream my dad's name. So.
Okay, good, so give her a rank, think if you
0.
think that scenario would work for her, then put yes.
So I'm
You
going
think
to
it
your
would?
page.
If you have another thing that you'd like to put, jot that down really fast.
Everything for me.
Again, it doesn't have to be a book, just give them a little idea. These are critiques, these are,
You suck.
so.
Imagine.
And then on it's like number 4, when it says, why was the refusal skill effective? Why was it effective? Well, if it works, isn't that the reason why it's effective? Right? Because it would work, right? And then why was the refusal skill ineffective? Well, if it was effective, it's not ineffective. And then what would you have done if you do kind of the same things, but I would have done the same thing? If you have another idea, do a quick refusal
Criticize
skill
them.
down.
Heck,
Okay?
you want this back?
No. All right.
I'm doing
We
short
good?
answers.
That's okay. Not too much though, because again, I don't want it, I just want it to be a quick,
So
Little-
I'm getting 4 pieces of paper.
little job. And everyone will get 4. Okay? Who'd like to go next?
Good time to go. Oh, wait, no.
No, we got a couple more minutes. I want to see if we can get done. If we can't finish up.
Go ahead,
then
Josie.
We'll finish up.
Me?
Yep.
And I'll go if you want.
Go ahead, man. Shoot, take it. Read your deal.
You have noticed that 2 of your friends have recently had a tattoo done. Your parents have forbidden you from getting one. Your best friends have told you that if you don't get it.
Can I have Sadie, please, Mr. Baker?
She is sitting outside. Let me get her. Go ahead, Jose.
Thank you.
Yep.
They told you that if you don't get it, done, it will mean that you are not loyal to them and they
See?
won't speak to you anymore. Well, for this one, I said, okay. I said, I'm not getting the tattoo. And if you don't want to be my friends because I don't get a tattoo, it's not my loss. You're losing a good friend. So, I mean, it's kind of your loss.
That's true.
Good.
You good friend of there.
What do you think? What do you think? If you got something else, again, right now. You think it'll work, good. If you don't think it'll work. I left a lot of room on it, it's just, they printed really big, so. Probably could have done these.
No, this is kind of fun.
Huh?
This is fun.
I already did my
Refusal
test
skills
today.
can be fun.
So, that's
All right.
good. Would refusal still work? Would refusal?
It would work.
Anyone person?
A lot of it does, but at the same time, depending on who you're with,
Yeah.
we're assuming that if they respect you enough as a friend, they'll be, okay. Unfortunately.
Yeah. It's different people's own.
You know what sounds really good? McDonald's chicken nuggets.
No.
Yes.
I'm practicing my refusal skills. Because I'm fat.
You're not
I
fat,
don't
you're
need
just
chicken
loverly.
nuggets.
You want a hug?
No.
Why not? I told you.
See, I have a good refusal skill.
He always says that. I'm like, want a hug? He's like, no, get off.
All right, who's up?
No, get off me.
Who's up? It's okay, we're gonna get through them all, because I want you to hear all these scenarios. Who's up? Who wants to go? Pressure's on. Pressure's on.
Kim, go.
Peer pressure.
Don't go.
Practice my refusal skills. No, Mr. Baker, I don't want to because.
I want to, Mr. Baker.
Wait,
no.
give me your refusal skills, hey, quick. I don't know what to say. Who's up?
No, because I'm too shy.
Keep working. Read.
Okay.
Okay, how's that?
One of your friends wants you to exclude someone you are friends with. They have told you that if you don't do what they say, they will stop talking to you.
Wait, say it again?
One of your friends wants you to exclude someone you are friends with.
Oh.
They have told you that if you don't do what they say, they will stop talking to you. I said, no, I'm not doing that, because I'd rather keep my friend that doesn't make me choose, so we don't talk to them your choice.
Bravo. That was beautiful.
So, no. Not gonna do it.
You said, because I,
Hey,
like,
just so
I'm
that,
friends with them and I don't want to lose them.
just so you guys don't panic,
Someone that doesn't choose.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold off on the storyboard. Which I'm gonna do.
Well,
Okay. No, not why I'm, the reason why I'm actually changing my thoughts of this. I wanna do this with you in class. I don't want this to be an assignment. I don't wanna do a homework assignment or a yourself assignment. I wanna do this in class. Because I think the three that I've heard so far, they're really good. And I'd like to do this, I think, together. I think this is a good thing. So I'm not just gonna hand it out. I'm gonna wait. And we're gonna go over it in class, we're gonna do it in class. Okay? Because I'm pretty pleased with you guys, your answering so far. You're obviously getting it.
right, come in.
Hold on.
Yeah, come in, and then Isabel.
Some people don't. Well,
I go
maybe
first.
Isabel wants to go next.
Okay, then Isabel can go. I'm sorry.
We'll let Isabel choose.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Bushy Pants.
Can't call me.
You know
I
what?
just did.
Jose? No.
Beat you up.
Mr. Baker, you're negatively affecting my mind. I don't know, you might practice your running skills.
I'll go, because it's,
Give Isabel just a second. Let her.
oh, sorry, Isabel. Much love.
I totally forgot.
Bye, Mr. Boyd.
I wouldn't have done it if you hadn't told me. No, you're good. I totally forgot about it. Have a good one. All right, thank you.
She was like, I got you.
They have like the editing where they make your teeth white and they remove your acne. I'm like, why would you do that? They have these photos of them.
You have like a white like upper lip.
Yeah,
she told me she gave me a neck position to help my double chin. I was like, thanks. And she's like, I'll go.
Well, they want you to have nice pictures, guys.
Yeah, I was like, we need to do it.
Such a crap.
They're like, 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you.
They
And
actually
go, they
don't.
can
That
show you.
picture's actually pretty good.
I know, but like, pretty good.
Yeah, that's why I
What
waited
does it look
to.
like?
That's
She
why.
like touched me. I was like, get your hand off.
We'll just straighten you up, Photoshop.
That's why I waited to be last.
You have, like,
If I
Jose
was, like,
hairdo?
If I was like in the middle of the line and then
Yeah,
I
some
kept
purple
asking to redo it, it would
Get
get
some
so
purple hair.
bad.
We'll get you some purple hair.
Okay, you ready?
All right.
I respect her. Hold on, let her get this last thought down. The other three she can't.
Jeez.
So.
Ew, it's Brooklyn.
No.
It's disease.
Guys,
No, go away.
No.
she actually did go.
We're in the middle of something.
Out of here, bro.
And I really want to finish. Give everybody the respect.
I'm gonna put this in my house.
Do you want to go? Do you want to go next, or do you want to go next?
You.
Say no. It's okay. Refuse
Wait,
to
you're
go.
walking to the lunchroom when an older student hands you a cell. It's where the.
Go,
I need
just
to
go.
go.
It's okay. Go.
When an older student hands you a cell phone, they tell you to put it in your bag as they don't want to get it caught. They don't want to get caught with it. You say you don't want anything to do with it, but they have told you that you have no choice, and if you don't, they'll meet you up after school.
Oh my God. Camille got that one.
Why didn't I get that
That's a
one?
harsh one. All
The
right.
violent one.
I said, my response would be, my mom's a cop, and she'll find out.
Great.
So back off. And I said it would work for me, because if they found out that they're messing with the cops, then they wouldn't beat me up either. And if they try to beat me up, then what's up with it?
Mom.
Until they find out your mom's not a cop and they come and beat you because you're
No.
I would have been like, I'll be waiting for you in that parking lot.
Okay, give me all.
No. You suck.
I don't care. It was just the first thing I came up with.
Please know you sucks. That would not be a response.
Okay.
No.
I just really wanna.
I'm just gonna.
I don't really care. Please answer all incomplete sentences. Whenever I read something that's in caps, I'm like, hey, what are you doing?
That's why I did it.
Yeah, that's why he does it. And he puts dots at the end, so like, it won't come back.
What?
More to come.
Yeah, that's what he does.
My mom is so weird with her ... She's like, what are you doing? ...
That's what he does.
Shut up.
He'll be like, I love this ... I'm like, oh
Yeah,
my God.
my mom's like, I'm going to sleep ... I'm like, what do you want me to say to that? She's like, okay. ...
She's like staring at you.
Well, it's still recording. That's a good thing.
Oh.
Although I really don't want to go back and watch myself.
Huh? Me
Camera?
either. I know, I was wondering why that was set up.
I'm gonna put a video of you on eBay.
I actually
Try to
tried,
sell you?
when I was 8, I tried to sell my dog on Macari, is that what it's called? And then my account got shut down. So now every time I download it on any type of device, it never lets me create an account. It's
All
like,
right.
sorry, your account has been restricted.
We have.
It's
sold
I
it for
do
$1.
tomorrow.
There's no school.
I uploaded pictures.
We have 30 seconds. I want to give Isabel the opportunity to
Isabel,
rehearse
go.
and say it real quick.
Isabel,
I'll let you keep these. Hopefully you wrote it down just enough you can kind of work it out, and then on Monday we'll go through the assignment. Okay?
Guys, stop.
I'm listening.
Hurry.
You walk into the
Stop. Wait a minute.
You walk into the bathroom at break and see one of your friends beating someone up. They see you and tell you that you have to punch the person too. You don't want to, but they have said if you don't, they tell the teachers it was you who did it.
Dang, of course Isabel would get that one.
Listen, guys. Camille, stop this.
I would just say no and then go out.
No one get help. Thank you. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Good job. You can take yourself or leave yourself in your folder. We will finish the storyboard. We'll do it and work on it on Monday. All right?
Isabel, I agree with you. Because you were firm and left the situation.
That's right.
And we've got help.
Yeah, just keep that.
Do you have the scenarios back?
Nope. You can toss them.